interstate for this run.
Hello everyone, welcome to Train Sim World. We're here on CSX Heavy Haul, and apparently I'm the rookie and it is very loud, so let's just go ahead and get in the engineer seat. I forgot how slow everything was. Okay, hello, how are you? You were the one calling me rookie, eh? Let's go ahead and sit down, see what you want from us today.
Before we reach the end of the yard, I'll contact the dispatcher for permission to head out to Hyndman. Set the locomotive up and we'll get going when you're ready.
Why are we rocking side to side? Why are we rocking side to side? Okay, let's go ahead and let's set turn lights to bright. We'll set the ditch lights, and if I can reach that one, gauge lights, there we go. Turn step lights on, I like them. Let's go ahead and put the reverser to forward. We'll set the automatic brakes to release. So far I'm doing good with controller at the moment. There we go. 2 honks.
This is X551 requesting a track warrant from Cumberland Terminal to Hyndman. Over.
X551, subject to signal indications. Proceed from Cumberland Terminal as far as Cumberland Station. Wait there for eastbound Q116 to pass. Then proceed to Hyndman. Over.
This is the coolest part of the scenario.
X551, subject to signal indications, proceeding from Cumberland Terminal to Cumberland Station. Await passage of eastbound Q116, then proceed to Hyndman. Out.
Alright, set the independent brake to release. And then we will begin to throttle up. Yep, I'm using controller. I'm doing really good on controller so far, which is awesome. Alright, so stop at location adjacent to Cumberland Station. I don't know if we have to do any... I don't think we have to do any turnout or switch, any switches on the turnouts. Alright, let's get moving. Yeah, so I decided to hop on Train Sim World for a few reasons. For most of you guys who follow along the channel, you are familiar with my Donner Pass modernizing series. And don't worry, this news isn't anything to scare you. I was just getting kind of bored, and I needed to just kind of, I don't know, take a break from doing some route building. I was having some issues in Sparks Yard, and I wasn't really liking the progress that was going on, so I thought, well, instead of trying to crank out another video within the next few weeks, I decided, let's take a break, let's get on Train Sim World, because the last Train Sim World I recorded, oh, that turnout might not be correct. Okay, I hope I don't have to switch any of those, because I don't want to have to fail this and redo it again. The last time I recorded Train Sim World was back on the Xbox One, and I've had Train Sim World on the PC for quite some time. I just haven't had any luck recording any sessions. So I thought, well, this would be a perfect time to get on the sim and drive some trains around. We're in my favorite locomotive, which is the SD40-2. Now, one thing, Dovetail Games, if you're listening, please make this happen. But I would so love an SD40-3 in Train Sim World, and even in TS 2020. If you aren't familiar with the SD40-3, look it up. There's also videos on what the rail fans call it, the SpongeBob cab, because it's a very boxy cab, but it looks so cool. That's just a small cross. I think that's just a yard crossing. Anyways, but there's something about the cab. They look, I don't know. They just look so cool. They look more modern than these, these cabs, because these have been around for quite some time as well. So it was cool to see an update when CSX started going to SD40-3s. I think the main reason for those cab designs is because they are remote control locomotives. Like a lot of the SD variants are now, they are remote controllable, and I think CSX just went with instead of adding the like a little platform for the flashing lights and whatever their other radio mechanisms are for their remote control units, CSX just rebuilt the cabs, and they even redid that little front bit on the loco as well, which again looks really cool. It kind of looks like a it kind of looks like the genset switchers. I think they're like the front end of those switchers is what the SD40-3s have, but the cabs might be different. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen that diesel, but yeah, Dovetail Games, please add SD40-3s. SD40-2s are kind of not existent anymore because CSX, well, it's for the CSX line because CSX have been going to SD40-3s, but regardless, so that, but yeah, we're here, again, Sand Patch, grade, I keep forgetting what, is this is Cumberland, right? Yeah, this is Cumberland. Gosh, Train Sim World is, dude, free front, oh, no, front camera. Ah, the detail is so good, look at this is amazing. Why couldn't the color grade be this good in TS 2020? It just looks fantastic, man. I cannot get over it. Here we got an AC 4400. I wish ES 44 ACs were also in the sim, because I think there's more ES 44 ACs than there are AC 4400s. That's just me complaining. Alright, it's a little bit loud. I apologize. There we go, it's a little bit more quiet. That was the other thing too. I don't know if there were sound. They need to add more sound options for I think the voices as well. So when you do these scenarios, you can hear them clearly. But that was really cool though. The first time I'd seen people play this route and do this scenario, and how you had your conductor there and talking to dispatch and things like that. That was just so cool. That is just the detail is amazing. Alright, so stop at location adjacent to Cumberland Station. We're doing good so far. Again, it's been the last time I did any driving in this sim was December of 2019, and this is May of 2020, so I'm surprised I know some of the controls and kind of remember how to do things, but let's see where we're going for this. I'm surprised I haven't sped yet. I probably will when we get to the main line. I'll do something stupid. I usually do. So if that's what you're looking forward to in this episode, it's probably going to be that. It's going to be me screwing up somewhere. Alright, so we have to stop here. So here's the first dynamic, independent, automatic. Let's try independent. So one thing I also struggle with is stopping. Maybe if I pay attention to the gauges. Oh yeah, independent brakes will stop it. If you don't know the difference, automatic brakes are usually, those are hooked up to all the rest of all the cars have their own like brake cylinders, and so the automatic brake controls your engine and all the brake cylinders. The train brake, or the independent brake, is only for the train that you're in. So usually if you're just going around the yard like this, you just want the independent. And we'll go ahead and apply the independent there. Oh, we gonna stop right in target? Oh. You know, I'll call that a success, because usually I stop before it. Alright, wait for container train to pass. Yep, we can see that. Alright.
This is X551. We're ready to head to Hyndman. Over.
X551. Subject to signal indications. Proceed to Hyndman. Over.
X551. Subject to signal indications. Proceeding to Hyndman. Out.
Alright, Turn the bell on, 2 blasts of the horn. I just realized I didn't do 1 for stopping, but let's go ahead and release that. There we go, we'll get it into notch 2. Alright, so go via location, the Narrows. You can see one thing I really like. First off, when Train Sim World was becoming a thing, I didn't know how they were going to do things like show the gradient. Obviously, if you played Train Simulator 2020, you know the UI looks completely different. But I will say I'm really happy with how they did the UI in Train Sim World, and I like how they gave you the option for putting the signals and the speeds on the top right. I personally like that better than having the little blips. I mean, I'm fine with the little waypoint indicators over there, but this is just so much more clear. And even in real life too, this is more realistic than anything else, because you don't really have that much information, you know, with you. Oh, I just realized that switch isn't switched. Okay, automatic switches must be all those. Those gates look horrible. I'm so sorry, but they're not anywhere close to looking realistic. Yeah, I'm assuming we don't have to worry about switching because... Oh, well, I hope I don't blow it anywhere down the line. That town looks super nice. Look at this. Do a little cinematic. Like, you know, one thing that I've always been picky about is detail. But in Train Sim World, they've done an excellent job with... I mean, Dovetail Games has done an excellent job with detail. It's been pretty good. I mean, I don't think you have to go do more detail than what they already have right here. And most of the Train Sim 2020 routes aren't, you know, this detailed. So, yeah. I mean, heck, even the AI cars, I mean, I wasn't... Oh! I wasn't expecting, you know, to even see that. I mean, there's a lack of it. There should be more AI traffic, but... Oh, we're speeding. No! Oh, we're going downhill. Let's see. No. Wait, let's focus on stopping first. Okay. See, I knew that would happen. But, I mean, overall, the detail's really good. I can't wait to see third-party content creators start doing routes and things like that, because, oh, I would... Seen it. You know, it's just gonna get better, really. Alright, a few more crossings. Yeah, the crossing gates, the lights are like too low or something. Or it's like the lights are too big and they're too low. Oh my gosh, this grade is ridiculous. I didn't realize it was that crazy here. Yeah, it's like the lights are too big and they're too low on the pole. And then, yeah, I think that's about it, really. I wonder if that was quite a decline right there. That was like 0.7%. That was... I don't know why that's not smoothed out. It's almost like the same... It's the same problem that Donner Pass runs into. It goes from like 2% grade to a flat level grade to something more. I don't know why it's all over the place, but... Oh, now we're going uphill. Okay, yeah, that's a little weird. Alright, nice. That's all of those. I don't know if my mouse is actually on for you guys. I apologize if it's not. Oh, it is. Okay. I just saw it off the corner of the screen in OBS. All right, we're through Cumberland, and we're going through the mountain ranges, so awesome. The last time I was on Sand Patch, I tried doing a snowy scenario, and for some reason I set it to where it was like light snow, and so like you could still see you could see everything clearly, but there was enough snow to where like further in the distance it was a little bit hazy and things like that. But then as I got to the end of that route, like as I was I don't know what the last place is on this route, but it started getting like really snowy and really foggy, so I was like, I couldn't see a single thing around here.
This is the Cumberland Narrows. It's crazy that just the Wills Creek carved out. Lucky for us it did, though. Otherwise, it would have added another 10 miles to the line if we had to go around these hills via Crescent Hill. Plenty of floods come through here in the fall. Strong enough to wash away road and rail. Although, things have improved over the years. Now the creek runs in a concrete box, but it still breaks free now and again.
Yeah, it's cool. You get little, okay, it's loud again. You get little facts about the route as well through this scenarios too, so you learn a lot about it. I'm gonna butcher the name of that town that's next. Ellersile? Ellers, yeah, I don't know. Maybe our conductor dude, we'll call him Veteran. He called us rookies, so we'll call him the Veteran. So hopefully the Veteran will have something to tell us about coming up next. I would go back. Yeah, maybe I'll keep one window open, because that kind of helps when I go outside. Like, I'm used to the sounds. Changing our throttle here. Man, diesel locomotives are not the greatest at holding constant speeds. Steam locomotives, on the other hand, that's way more fun to control. There was also a update. There's like I don't know if it was a physics update or a power update. I don't know what it was. There was an update to Sand Patch a while back, and I don't remember it doing anything good because I still felt like there were some physics issues, especially with the long freight trains, like the container trains. They just something wasn't right about how they felt. Part of it, I think, is because the physics are a little bit too realistic, maybe. I don't know if that's maybe the cause, but it just, I don't know, it's I don't know. I guess because for many of us who are used to playing, Train Simulator 2020, that has a completely different feel. That's too loud for me. The physics really for that is pretty simple. The physics in here are much more detailed, but I also think they're detailed to the point where it's not realistic, or like it doesn't need to be too in depth really. And I think that's one thing Dovetail Games is struggling with and that's why we haven't seen long like freight routes like for Union Pacific or anything like that. Is because what happened? The power went down. There we go. And I think the other thing too is that they want to make Train Sim World, playable. Want to make all the routes playable on console, which I personally think that's a bad target point. I mean, if the reason that Dovetail Games has not had longer American freight routes in Train Sim World is because they want to make sure all the routes go over to console smoothly, I think that's a horrible reason, because you should have those PC exclusive things. I mean, a lot of games you know, there are PC exclusive content, you know, or it's a PC only game. And yeah, we're getting to the point in the gaming world where the consoles are going to be powerful enough to run any PC game, and you're able to do, you know, play any PC game through your console. But still at the phase of where Train Sim World is at right now, like I said, we have the AC4400, and I'm sure they could easily make the ES44ACs just like any other railroad has, even the SD, I don't know what, SD70s, I forget which ones those are. But anyways, you know, and put those together and make, you know, whatever the bigger, you know, freight routes are in the US, whether that be Cajon Pass, Donner Pass. We got a crossing grade coming up. I just saw the whistle board. But where is it? There it is. But to not make any of those routes because you want to make it playable on all platforms is kind of silly in my opinion. Again, no offense to Dovetail Games, but I mean, most PCs, like even this PC that I'm playing on, this is my brother's PC. I don't remember the exact specs of it. You know, it's not a high-end PC, but it can do this route pretty well. You know, it can do the longer freight trains. I think it's because when you do the bigger freight trains, it does, you know, screw the FPS up a bit. So I think it's just about optimizing it, really. That's probably their main concern. But again, you know, they should still be able to crank out, you know, some large routes and, you know, have it for PC. And then when it is playable on console, you know, when the next generation, you know, Xbox comes out, next generation PlayStation comes out, and you're able to, you know, they can handle more, you know, then, you know, so be it. Oh, that's an SD, or that's a GP40, I think, that just went by. Oh, crossing, oh, I didn't realize that. Use window. What am I pressing? Turn off. There we go. I don't know what is going on right now. I just got distracted by seeing this tank train come through. Or tanker train. Okay, go via. Let's see what Veteran has to say.
Up ahead, we'll pass through the town of Ellerslie. Not
Ellerslie.
No, but this run up from the Narrows to Hyndman is our last chance to be sure about the train brakes before beginning the climb to Sandpath Summit. Coming down can be just as treacherous. After the twists of Glencoe and Fairhope, you'll be glad to see straight at Hyndman. Don't get too comfy though. Too much speed and the curve at Corriganville will have you in the dirt in no time.
Yeah, this is a nice stretch of, so, oh, he said the name of the town, and once again, it just escapes my mind, so I'll have to look back and practice saying it. But he said the name well. I cannot. Yeah, it's a good stretch. Have some openness, and then it gets a little bit more hilly and things like that. Yeah, I can't believe I was trying to hit B on the keyboard for Bell, and I think I hit C at first, and then I hit V, and I think V is controlling the wipers. So that was fun. Alright, we're going to Cook Mills next. That's that's an easier name to pronounce. So far I'm doing really good at... So far I'm surprised that the only thing I've had to use on the keyboard is using the bell. Because I don't know where it's mapped on the controller. But hitting B for bell is fine. Got another crossing coming up. Flattens out here. The horns are pretty good in this game, but all the CSX locos have pretty much the same KL. Don't even ask me what version of the horn it is. The KL5A. I don't know. It's one of those. Anyways, but they're all the same on every locomotive. Like, come on, there's got to be some variation at least. CSX doesn't have all of them, you know, to that. Nice openness. And this is what I like, just flying down the main line. A little bit of a grade. Let's go back out to cam, where it's a little bit loud. I apologize, but we got two SD40-2s flying down the line. Oh, it's a little station here. We're going downhill now. Oh dear, oh dear. I choose the wrong times to go into exterior view. Fine, we'll go back to interior. Gosh. I don't know if there was a... I don't remember what the camera options were. Oh yeah, this is quite a bend here. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is that the grade changes a lot. And I get that. There's no... You know, it's the same thing that the base Donner Pass route has an issue with. That's just the grade changes too much. And it's probably like that for a lot of railroads, but I find it a little bit unrealistic at times. And I'm pretty sure they are still pretty constant grades, but it's whatever. I think DevTail Games might know more than we do. There might be other people more experienced than that. There's another whistle board, and let's see what Mr. Veteran has to say about Cook Mills.
You're running great so far. Keep it up.
I was not expecting that. Thank you, sir. I feel very much accomplished today. That's another whistle board. And I say whistle board because it does have W on them. I think a lot of the newer... They've replaced a lot of them with X's for crossing. But W is the old one, obviously, for whistle, for the steam locomotive era. There's the bell again. That's something I personally like. Oh, there's another one. Is I like, when I get to these whistle and crossing boards, I like turning the bell on. I know a lot of the horns are mapped to where if you start pressing the horn, it will start the bell. But usually... engineers will start the bell first, like a long ways before the crossing. And I just personally like doing that too. Like it feels more realistic to what anyone else would do. Because the horn is kind of the warning for the crossing. The bell's kind of like the warning for the horn. You got, obviously the bell will come first, and then the horn, and then you got the crossing coming up. I want to do more like exterior stuff and look out, but I'm focused on driving, so I apologize if you wanted to see the scenic mountainside of Sandpatch Grade, but I'm focused on driving this train at 50 miles an hour. Yeah, the detail's just so good. I mean, especially with the... Like, I think all the trees are 3D trees. There's no flat 2D trees. But the Unreal Engine does a phenomenal job of being able to render all of this in and just not struggle. I mean, like I said, my brother does not have that high... I mean, it's a PC that's up there. I think the graphics card is up there. It's a 2660. Oh, people are going to hate me for that because I didn't say the right... GTX or whatever graphics card, but you know, it's like I said, it's not that great of a PC, it's not that beefy, but it still does pretty good, so I will give it that. And I think I am playing on full detail resolution as well, so it's phenomenal. Alright, so we're coming up to Wills Creek. Does our good friend Mr. Veteran have anything to say about that? Does he have a name? I don't know if he has a name.
You've no doubt noticed we share a lot of trackside with Wills Creek over Sandpatch Grade. These hills don't leave much room for the railroad to squeeze past.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it gets much more squeezed the more north we go on the route. It gets pretty narrow, which is phenomenal. It's cool to think about, you know, especially back in, you know, when the railroads were, you know, becoming a thing in the 1800s, you know, and they're, you know, the technology to cut through mountains and, you know, tunnel out mountains and things like that, you know, weren't the greatest. So we have better technology now than we did then for all that stuff, but they were able to do it back then, and it took a lot of manpower to do that. And it's, you know, phenomenal to see the work that went in, you know, to build these lines. I mean, a lot of these lines were laid, you know, they've been updated, you know, to you know, for heavier loads and more, you know, constant rail traffic, but, you know, a lot of this was laid by hand. So it was, you know, it's pretty cool to think about. It's a cool aspect in the railroad history. I think that's why I continue to like railroad stuff a lot. I mean, heck, my favorite locomotive in general is, you know, nickel plate 765. It's a steam locomotive. I mean, yeah, I like these SD40-2s. Please add SD40-3's dovetail. But, you know, it's, you know, railroad history is pretty cool. That's another thing, too. Usually, they'll blow the horn when they're by another train. Like, even though they're going fast like this, like, they want to make sure people are aware that there's another train. Oh. That was a good time to just constantly blow my horn, because if someone was waiting for that train to go by, they probably would not have seen us. Yikes. And that's why more crossing grades need to have the actual gates and lights instead of the crossing bucks. Crossing bucks? Is that what they're called? Yeah, I believe so. Alright, we're green, so we're good. I haven't even thought about that. Next one's yellow. That's one thing I always forget about too, is like I'm just on my merry way, and then I realize, oh yeah, like signal's red up ahead. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm stupid, or I don't see the speed change. That happens sometimes. I forgot how long the stretch was. Holy cow. Alright, got another crossing coming up ahead. That's one thing I want to do. I might make a video on it because it might be something cool to do, but there's a lot of these routes have collectibles on them, you know, because obviously this is a, you know, you can walk around the map and things like that. But there's different collectibles, and there's, or they call them collectibles, but there's also things that you can quote unquote repair. Like you can place up safety, like, you know, papers or like wallpapers and things like that, and placards and stuff that are supposed to go places, and pretty much every route has that. I'd like to do that at some point because I think that'd be a fun little video to do. Just kind of go around and find all those Easter eggs, if you want to call it that. All right, veteran, what we got?
This is X551 approaching Hyndman. Requesting permission to stop and run back into the siding at Hyndman. Over.
X551, subject to signal indications. Stop and run back into the siding. Over.
X551, subject to signal indications, proceeding with stop and run back. Out. We're passing through Hyndman. The siding should appear on the right-hand side shortly. It runs until just outside town. Stop beyond the switch and we'll run back into it and connect to the stopped cars.
Alright, sounds good. I start slowing down because I didn't know where we were, how quick it was coming up. So I probably slowed down a little bit too much, but that's okay. They're crossing board. Yeah. There's a little river here. Let's go outside. There we go. Could be a bit loud. I apologize. Hopefully I can balance the audio out to where my voice isn't too... Oh yeah, there's the crossing. Isn't too muffled from all of this. That's loud. That is loud, but that is awesome, man. Alright, there's the 3 cars that we're hooking up to. Let's go back into internal. Uh-oh, sound glitch. Sound did not disappear. No! We'll have to, like, get up from the seat, I think, in order for it to... Yep. There we go. Okay. I didn't know if we could do that while we were going. Okay, so yeah, those are the cars. We're coming up to a 25-mile-per-hour zone, apparently. Yep, okay. I think that's just for the scenario. It's telling us, hey, you gotta slow down here. Just fine and dandy. There's a mechanical box there. There's a sign over there. Okay. Oh. Oh. Independent brakes are very good. I might actually blow past it. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, independent brake's nice because it's pretty, alright. It's very reactive. Can we get out and switch? Yes, we can get out and switch. Thank you. Yay, we get to go out. Woo! Yeah. Oh, that's crouch. Run. There we go. Run. Whatever that meme is, song is. Yes, we could switch. Oh, that's so satisfying. Okay. Achievement unlocked. CSX switcher. Yes. Alright, climb board, the engineers. Can we go up here? No, we can't. Okay. That's cool. Let's get back up. There we go. Alright, let's get backward. Go backwards. Let's do... Oh yeah, that was reverse. Let's do the bell. And 3 short blasts backwards. Or 3 short blasts of the horn to signify that you're going backwards. So, this is one thing I also wish... Oh my gosh, the light. Why is the rear light not off? Okay, anyways. This is also something that I struggle with for this sim. And part of it's because, well, I like to stay in first person. I mean, talk about realism. It's, you know, if you want to be somewhat realistic, you know, you're gonna sit in the first person seat and you're gonna drive your locomotive and your consist. But this marker right here is for where your person sits. It is not the relationship from the coupler of that second locomotive to the coupler on those cars. And even that is also a waypoint for the, we're speeding a bit. That is also the waypoint, I think, for like the middle of the car as well. So that is something I wish changed. Because, yeah, I get it. I mean, in real life, I think this dude would have gotten out. He would have been on the second locomotive that we have here, and he would be giving me a countdown on how close those cars are. Like, he might give, like, 5 cars, 2 cars, and then he might start counting down, and he might even signal out, like, you know, if we're getting close to being coupled or whatnot, like, to stop. Now I get that, you know, that's hard to code, that's hard to do, but, you know, at least make it, like I said, we can't be fully realistic. I mean, at some point, you know, because that, you know, our conductor can't do that, you know, those numbers there need to be a little bit more precise. So, for the sake of this, I might actually just get out. Fine, I think well, let's get an idea of how far we are. Yeah, okay, so, like, for me, I have a hard time understanding, like, yards and distance for some reason. I don't know why, but okay, let's just, and I mean, part of it's that too, you know, I should know better how far, you know, that many yards is, but at the same time, I'm not, okay, we gotta be closing in relatively shortly. Usually anything under 4 miles per hour is a good place to hit the cars. I'm assuming we're like right on them. So we're just waiting to hit them. Oh, ow. Yep, alright. Independent brake. Alright, park the locomotive. This is it. Alright, set the reverser to neutral. And we'll put this to, well, that's emergency. Alright, we'll set any lights we have. That was the end of the scenario? Aw, I actually thought there was more to that. I'm very sad and depressed right now. Alright.
Good work. Before heading back, let's grab a bite to eat with the repair crew. That's them by the pickup truck.
Alright, cool, man. Let's go ahead and have our lunch. It is almost that time. It is 10:42 in the game. And we will get out. That's the end of the scenario. I didn't realize it was that quick. Yeah. SD40-2. One of my favorites. Please. Dovetail games. Oh, I didn't realize the American flag. That's awesome. SD40-3, please. Renovate it. Front end there. And SpongeBob cab. That'd be awesome. And that's going to end it for this scenario. Wow, I actually I'm happy about this chart. So far, obviously you can see our stopping point. Speed-wise, yeah, I probably could have done a little bit better at the end, but not too bad. There's all our stats that we have right here. That was not an hour long. I mean, I've been recording for 45 some minutes. It said it was an hour long, but hey, that's not bad though. Yeah, and then what I like too about freight stuff is that there's timetables, but they're not, you know, like passenger timetables where you have to meet those times and things like that. But there we go. That is going to do it from me here on Train Sim World. If you guys enjoyed, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. Actually, I think I know what I'm going to do next. I'm probably going to do right after this, honestly, because I feel like doing another one. I'll probably do a peninsula corridor route from California on the Caltrain stuff. I don't know if I'm going to do a freight or a passenger route, but I also bought that route a while back when that was released, and I definitely want to do some videos on that. So you might see some of those. You might see another Sandpatch one, because CSX is my favorite locomotive company and transportation company. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.